and I guess I'm live. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching me on IG, I'm recording the download for you. It's the Put a Stamp on It podcast. Boy, we've been away. Well, I've been away. Jose's been away for quite some time. I think we've probably missed 3 weeks, but don't worry about it. We're back for you. Actually, I am just going to drop an episode. Hit a little quick 30 minutes. My partner's out in Tahoe right now doing his thing with his family, celebrating, just having some good time, celebrating the summer. And I definitely wanted to just hop on here and just reach out to the community and tell everybody, hey, we haven't forgot about you. We're still here. I appreciate everybody who's posting, replying, and commenting on our page. And if you haven't followed us yet, make sure you follow us at Put a Stamp on It podcast for YouTube, Facebook, and IG. What's up, Miguel? And if you want to jump in and just kick a question, man, feel free. I'm by myself, solo, YOLO. I'm going to try to keep it going for you. So, man, what's been going on? I definitely don't want to get into too much that's past without my partner here, but I just kind of talk about what's going down recently for myself. Um, Things can definitely happen throughout weeks, days, and life happens in cycles. So definitely the past 90 days, I think, and I always reference 90 days, but 90 days has definitely been a lot of eye-opening experiences, self-healing, and just really kind of putting things in perspective. It was cool because today I was in the office and I want to get back on my old regimen of going in the morning, hitting the gym, going in the morning, really balancing out that life circle. And I say that because, if you haven't seen it before, it's a circle and it's like work, life, balance, health, money, family, relationship. And, we always talk about work, life, and balance, but something's always going to be out of whack or it's going to be too much on one side. And you got to kind of just be aware. And I think that's really what's important is being aware. So I bring that up because, the past 3 months, I've continued to do business the way I've been taught, not so aggressively, but really just trying to enjoy the moment. And, when I'm home, I try to really just enjoy what comes free, like the time. So, I went out of town for Mike Ferry in Vegas and picked up some great information from the coaching out there. We did a little bit of that. And then also was able to spend some time quality, just kind of just life topics, things that we talk about on the podcast, and just really spending some time with some quality people. But when I came back, one of the things that I did was, this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you may laugh or not, but I basically spent so much time with my kids. And I mean, it was just the little things. It was waking up in the morning, having them lay with me, on top of me, just wrestling, whether it was getting ice cream, just cruising. I mean, it was just anything that we did to spend really quality time, things that they wanted to do, from painting, just letting them be kids and enjoying that. And I always told myself, man, when I get into my own business, I am going to, that's the thing I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on my children and focus on all these other work-life balance situations. And then when you get into this competitive game of real estate or just generally running your own business, you realize that you kind of focus on a lot more aspects of the business and money. And you spend a lot of that time really just saying that, you know what, I'm doing this for us as a family. And I realized when you ask your children, do you like what I do, or how do you feel about these things? A lot of times, because they don't know any better, all they know is love and time, and they want your communication, the real basics in life, because they're just so new to this world that they just want you there. And, it was crazy because I've probably been the happiest with my business, not lacking, but not really in the same direction it's been in the past 4 years, but I've been the happiest this past 3 months. But it was because I've been spending time with my family and really just cherishing it with the kids. And, today I was in the office and it was cool because my broker walks in, we have a conversation. He was just like, man, you look really calm and really at peace, happy. And I've known him since I got in the business. And he's just like a different Gary that I have ever seen before. And instead of questioning it or really kind of going down that path and elaborating on it, we just really I just kind of said, thank you, just because he's acknowledging it and people are seeing that, and when I was at the softball tournament, that same thing, another broker came up to me and kind of said, you seem like you're in a happy place, like you're more humble, and people are kind of aware of it. So it just kind of gets me thinking that, man, don't miss those quality times that when you're with your kids, those times you go take the boy to get a haircut, or the times that you just get to go have ice cream. Like, put your phone down, those text messages can wait. Those things can wait, because the crazy thing is that your children are going to school, for 7 to 8 hours out of the day, maybe some after school programs and stuff. And then, like, what time are you getting to see them? You're able to see them for the first couple hours they wake up, catch them when they get home, and then they go straight to bed. And if you were to just sit there, and even if you don't have kids and you just have a loved one, and you guys both go to work, but if you were to just like tally that up, it would almost be mind blowing just to think how much time you're not spending with these people that you love, and these people that you cherish each other's time. And it's that all the things that come free, like happiness, time, love, memories, all these just things that come free. It's like society is selling them back to us by making us chase a carrot, or feeling that you need to set certain goals. So I think just having real clarity now of what a goal may be for you personally is huge, And I think I've touched on this before with my partner, Jose, I'm like, man, we're chasing other people's goals at times, get married, have kids, sell 100 houses, or, well, you solve that problem by getting, putting more money, whatever you've just learned from being a child, just basically repeats on how you're functioning as an adult. And until you can actually look into yourself and say, you know what, I need to just understand that in order to move forward, I need to come to the conclusion that really I don't know anything. And once you can admit that you just don't know anything, and that what's got you there has got you there, it's okay to reinvent yourself and then continue to move forward, and just take those bits and pieces that have kind of took you there, and continue to build on top of those. But then going forward, it's always okay to become a different person, but become a different person for yourself, no one else. Don't make a change and sell yourself short because you want to change for someone else. The minute you do that, when you're not getting anything in return, you're giving these things to somebody else, and you don't get those in return, you're going to feel as if you failed, and you're going to kind of go back to it. So, and then you hear things like love yourself and appreciate yourself and things like that. But I mean, you just got to be, I think, hyper aware of just who you are in that situation. And if your goal is to pay off a certain amount of debt by the end of the year, or, to sell a certain amount of properties, or whether it's just to start your own podcast or just just anything, it's going to take time, and people may not approve of it because it's what they may not be comfortable in doing. But, once you get through it and you kind of go through those battles, you're going to be so much better on the other end. In the end, you only have yourself to get through it. Now, you have some support from your loved ones, but in the end, you can only rely on yourself, and you can't lie to yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. It's crazy to see some of these speakers and gurus and stuff that, they've built these stories up to preach to us about the hustle, the grind, drop everything, do this, do that. It's all about, and you hear it all and you can read it all and everything. But what they don't ever tell you is the struggle in the between, the stuff that you're going to deal with, that if you don't address it and face it, that's going to leave you short when you get there. I heard somebody say on, I think it was on the Joe Rogan podcast. It may have been Joe Rogan podcast, or maybe it was the Breakfast Club, but either way, he was saying like money is an exacerbator. And I had to Google it because obviously, hey, I'm not on point when it comes to that. But I Googled it. It was just like, basically money's just going to expose kind of what you already are. If you're greedy, if you're selfish, if you are a giver, like it isn't going to change just because you get more. It ain't going to change if you go to a different position or a different job or a different city. Like, you are always going to be that person until you change who you are, until you really face yourself. And then you can give back, and you can be the best version of yourself for your family and your loved ones and friends. So, that's kind of like this past 3 months have just been cool because, like, with the podcast, I think we've been able to become more self-aware of our position and talking to other people. I'm coming across a lot more as I've came across a lot more people that I would have never thought that are open and honest. I had a conversation with somebody today and it was like, well, what are you really looking to do? Like where do you want to be? I mean, is this what you want to do for the rest of your life? And they were like, no, but this is kind of the vessel, the tool that's using me that I can get to where I want to be. So it's like, you have to now align yourself with someone who's going to take you to that next level where you need to be. And then also, be realistic with what your goals are, set little ones and set big ones so that you don't feel like you're failing. You are always headed in the right direction. And then two, just go after with what you want to do. And he was just chasing other people's goals. And I said things like, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to have fear. It's okay to go through these things. You know what I mean? It's okay to go through a divorce or go through separation or, to leave a job or maybe lose something, whether it's finances or, have an argument and you have to go back on and get in good grace with somebody. But just that you learn from it. And then not only just that, but man, like that you understand that those are real life feelings, as kids, as males, you find yourself, you cry emotionally or something like, just something happens where you should be, and, this is going to get mixed reviews, but you feel like, oh, don't cry, be a man, be a boy, suck it up, kind of don't show your feelings. And that closes you off because then it's hard to, as you become an adult, to like talk to other people. It's hard to talk to other men like, hey man, I'm going through a lot, or this is going, you tend to hold that in because you don't want to be judged and you don't want to be looked about as less of a person. But what I'm finding out is the more people that share, the more people that are being real and honest, you kind of develop a whole different type of relationship, when it's like, I'm going to give information to you and you may not, I don't have to have the answer for that person, but I just got to be there. You just got to be there to listen, to know that sometimes it's okay to be scared. Sometimes it's okay to be sad. And then sometimes it's okay to have an ego. And sometimes it's okay to feel like you're doing everything by putting on your shoulders and, you can pat yourself on the back, but it's just okay to be a human being. And if anybody, if you've ever are going through anything, and you just need someone to talk to, just to listen to, like, yo man, me and Jose, man, we're here. Shoot us a DM, hit me on any of the social medias. I mean, shoot, you got my number's on there. Just to have somebody listen, just to give you a different outlook, man. And if I don't have advice that I can give to you, because I'm only going to share what I know for what life experiences I have, because one, I'm not ashamed of anything that's happened to my life that's gotten me where I'm at. Everything had to happen to get me where I'm at. That's going to get me where I'm going. You'd be damn sure if I'm going to lay down and fail. I'm a lot more than just a motivational post on Instagram or Facebook, because what you find out is all those people that share that bullshit all day, all they're doing is fucking lying to themselves. You're lying to yourself about that shit, because I know a lot of those people, and when they really by themselves, push comes to shove and they get put against that wall, they fold. And when they fold, what do they go back to? They go back to what they originally were doing before, or they go back to just the fear. And, a lot of times people that speak in silence are different, they're just a lot more stronger. So, sometimes you do those things just to get you going and just to pump you up. But there's a point where that shit runs out. That motivation shit runs out. And you got to have some actual techniques, or you got to put yourself around other people that are going to support you. They're going to bring you up. So, I say that because, don't you don't have to wear your heart on your sleeve, but don't be afraid to talk about it, fam. Like, don't be afraid to be who you are. Don't be afraid to know that there's people out there to support you to become better. You may not be able to tackle your dream or goal right now, but that may be something that you can get there. There's always people that are going to help you out. The more friends that you can make and the more acquaintances, the more that's just another spider web that's going to go out, that's going to allow you to be there, to communicate and to maybe get a connection that needs to be there. And you may need to be able to be there for somebody else, just to hear that person out too as well. But that's just kind of where everything's kind of been, So in a sense, man, I'm happy as fuck, dude. I mean, I'm so happy that I don't even cook, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I literally cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the kids, and they ate it all. Fuck, all four of them ate it all. And I was like, damn, like, look at that. I'm out here adulting right now. But it was cool though, because I like for them to see that not only am I on my grind, but I'm here and I take that time to clean up and do those things and those tasks. And I involve them to show them some responsibility, as much as the kids hate it. And, I want to learn, teach them how to cook. I always want to teach them to be self-sufficient and they could just rely on themselves so that they can just be an equal to whoever they are either with, and they can contribute not only on just the hustle, but just on their intelligence or what they can bring to the table, that they can bring other basic things to the table. I mean, shoot, it was crazy. I washed my own car this weekend. I mean, I haven't washed my car since I think I was a part of Team Famous, like in a car club, which was when I was in my early 20s. No, not even early 20s. I think right out of 2021. That's the last time I probably was really washing my car all the time because I didn't want to take it to anybody. And it cracks me up because I literally sat there. I'm like, yo, I'm going to wash my car. Got out there, got down on it. And I forgot a task like spending 30 minutes to 45 to an hour washing your car, how it just stops you from thinking. Like you're literally just there in the moment, just doing your thing. And then I was done, parked it. I'm like, I felt accomplished. It's something so little that you forget. It's like, how often do you just go outside and walk around? Like how often do you just lay in the grass? Like how often do you just enjoy the free things that you can do? Like how often? And you have to do these things because you got to keep a form of sanity. Because if you don't, man, you're going to go crazy just hitting the hamster wheel. They say the time that we're most stressed or we stress ourselves out is at night. And I mean, if you can agree to give me a thumbs up if you agree to this, but on IG, but like, when you're asleep, how many times do you just keep yourself up at night just thinking about stuff without stuff that you need to think about? Like it's just in your mind, it's going. And, and that's when you're supposed to be letting your body fall asleep. That's when you're supposed to be letting your body just really get rest and rebuild, and be ready for the next day. So, you got to practice things. Like it sounds crazy, but, I really do sit there and I practice things like breathing. I'm in the bed. If I start thinking, I'm like, let me just take some deep breaths. Like, let me try to forget about everything that I really don't need to worry about. Because either way, if worse comes to worse, I'm still alive. I still got my kids. You still have to appreciate all the things that you're giving that you still have that are free that others may not have. And just push that shit out and breathe. And you just think and you just listen to your breath and you just push through it. And then finally it goes away. Like it's done. It's done. And you realize a lot of you're basically dealing with first world problems that we have, that we can get through. And as long as you can wake up the next day, you can still keep going to make a change. But yeah, I'm just doing simple things like that, spending time with friends, family, spending time just getting out, maybe just doing your own thing. Like you gotta, even though you may be married or you may have a spouse, like, yo, you gotta get some time to yourself. Like you have to spend some time by yourself. You gotta go just do you, don't do nothing toxic that's going to affect you for the next couple of days, but just do something to get by yourself. I've chosen to, I don't want to post it, but whatever. I've chosen to not drink for the next 90 days. So basically, let's just say I would count from Saturday. So I'm just basically a couple of days in. So, I would love for you guys to hold me accountable to that, to make sure that I don't drink. And I'm going to tell my boy when he comes back too as well from Tahoe. But, and just kind of the reason is I just want to cleanse. I just want to eliminate that toxin like that I don't need, to get a clarity. Do I have a problem with it? I mean, if you've ever been to a therapist and they've given you a test to try to determine if you're an alcoholic or not, like that test is pretty much going to determine you're alcoholic. Like you literally cannot drink for a whole year, binge drink one day out of the year, and they can consider you an alcoholic. But back to what I'm saying though, is I just want clarity. I want to see what it feels like, to not just have that running through my system. The tough thing is I don't do it as I don't drink because it's like a stress reliever, because I know I'm going to feel like shit the next day because I'm 36. It's like you don't recover the same way you used to. But I find myself doing it just because it's like, I don't know, like you just are in these situations that you just, hey, I'll get a beer, or hey, let me get a drink. Or you go out with coworkers like, hey, here, get a drink. Like yesterday, I got to wash the car. I came back in like, man, it was hot outside. Man, I could go for a cold one right now. And I'm like, it's just a habit, and I know that after 90 days, these things become habit to where you can just get away from them. And I'd like to just do that, Shout out to my cousin, Mike Solis, like my boy my cousin, my fam has been sober, like for, God, I think somewhere around like 4 or 5, maybe 6 months. Sorry if I gave it the wrong date, but just to see him go and be sober like that, man, I respect that, dude. Like my cousin, I've seen him come from here, from far left all the way to far right. If you follow my IG and Instagram, or follow him on Facebook, he's always the one making jokes, crazy memes. They're always going at it. He's hella funny, always getting blocked. But to see the change of him to focus on that portion of his life, to like not drink, and to know that, drinking was a big part of it. And then to get back on this hustle, this grind, this marketing, all these things like that. Like that's like, keep it real. That's kind of inspiring to know that like he can do that. So I'm watching, so I'm going to take from that, and I'm going to be like, yo, I can implement that too in my life. Not only hitting the gym and trying to be, just be healthier. I don't know shit about fitness or anything like that. I mean, I'm not no like, hey, let's sit here and eat the best, healthiest food, but shit, like just try to eat a little less, but still enjoy life. And then on top of that, I don't want to be 80 or 70, not being able to walk. You look at people that aren't living anymore, man. And you look at these elderly people that just look like they're out of it. They're unhealthy. I don't know what they've did in their life, but they've just kind of got to this point where it's like, yo, it doesn't look like they're hurting. But then you see people that are vibrant and still going. You're like, oh, how old are you? You're like, dang, 80, and you're still at it, driving. They're sharp. They know, and like, you just can't ever stop learning, can't ever stop educating yourself. You can't ever just stop growing as a person. Shit, you just can't stop being around fucking community. Like, you still got to be around people, man. Like, you still got to talk to people, like, you just can't seclude yourself to being alone. And that's something, again, that you just can't take away from anybody. That shit comes free. My advice, get out there, talk to people, man. My advice right now is just like, get out there and try to be open about that shit. Don't worry about somebody judging you. When those motherfuckers judge you, let them judge you. Those are people you don't need to talk to. Go get that inner circle that just wants to support you to become a better person, or just to like, I saw somebody post, and I shared it. It was basically, acknowledge keep a reminder of the people that you're with that have that smile on your face and that keep you happy. So just a little bit of advice, but let me see what's going over here on IG. I got having fun without it in groups. 3 cars, me and my boy, every Saturday is our thing. Washing cars, bro, from when we first met. You have made huge changes. Appreciate that, fam. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody just kind of jumping in, man. I appreciate a lot of you guys just joining in and just dropping knowledge, man. Like I said, man, I wish the best for everybody. Everybody that interacts, man. People that hit me up on the DM, people that just I run into that have just watched the podcast or just want to shoot the shit and talk, and I appreciate you guys 100%, because your stories help drive me. Like, your stories help me know that what we're doing, or what I'm doing, or I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but just sharing this, it just kind of helps know that we're all headed in a better direction. As long as you ain't trying to take 2, 3, 4, 5 steps back, and you're always headed in the other direction, we're doing what we have to be doing. Now, on a up note, let me see here. Man, Spider-Man, hitter. I don't know if you've watched Spider-Man. I was really doubting it. I didn't know how to feel about it. I said to myself, the previews just weren't getting me. I don't get it. But I watched it. That shit was fire. Like, touche. Like, good comeback from Endgame. I was feeling it enough that I had to literally Google, where the hell do I get some Tony Stark Spider-Man sunglasses? Because I really want them. Then I saw how much they were, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really want them that much for $500. But they got some bootleg ones, and now that I told you they're all bootleg, I probably shouldn't buy them. But goddamn, that's that part of me wanting to just stun out. Anyways, long story short, though, they were fire. That was a dope movie. Watch that. What else is coming out? Oh man, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's coming out. That's fire. Another thing that's coming out is, this is kind of a, I know it's hit or miss, but Hobbs and I don't know, I can't remember the name, but it's a spinoff with The Rock and Jason Statham, Hobbs and something. But anyways, that looks legit too. So I get excited about movies. I never really thought about it much about going to the movies. I just know I love to go. I love to watch movies. I love to watch content. I love to, like, if we're kicking it, I want to make sure that movie references, lines, points in the movies. Same things for like television shows and even like books and podcasts or something. If you could hit that with me and we're flowing, like that's just, it makes for a great conversation. That's one thing I like about hanging out with my partner, Jose. You know, we just flow on that. But, you know, when I look back, like if I look back and I say, well, what the fuck did me and my dad do? You know, I'm like, fuck, we didn't do shit. Like nothing. I saw, you know, hey man, if you hear the podcast, sorry about Pop. Hey, I'm still alive, so you can still do something. But we didn't do shit. Like we didn't have. Well, you know what? I take that back. So my dad got into collecting stuff like Hot Wheels and just that was, I don't know. So we would do that. I remember doing that, like going with them places, and we would do that. And he was real creative. Like for some reason, like a lot of our family's really creative. And I don't know if it comes from both sides, but like the Fraustos and the Solises, like everybody can draw. It seems like everybody can paint. Everybody, you know, I got cousins like my cousin Ulysses. My boy's a whiz on the grill, whiz chef. I mean, he gets down. Like everybody in some form has a amount of creativity. And, you know, we all further. My brother's an artist. I have an uncle that's an art. Everybody kind of furthers it and does in their own thing. But I think that my dad was really good at like chopping up things. They work on cars, stuff like that, and just kind of painting and doing creative going forward. So my point is, you know, I'm thinking to myself, like, well, what does that mean my kids do? I'm like, damn, we really go to the movie. Like, we really go to the movies all the time. Like, I love it. Like, we go, even though I know we can watch movies here, we still go, we sit down, we watch them, we do our thing. I love when they're old enough. The kids are old enough, the 3 and the soon to be 5-year-old old enough to sit there and watch a movie with us. We all hang out. I mean, it's expensive, but that's something I won't want to take away. Maybe we'll go eat. Then we hit some ice cream. We do the big jump, you know, the rush air, which is, I think, top flight or flight something now. But, you know, like look back, you know, and like my boy said, you know, he washes the 3 cars with his kids, you know, like look back, like what are you doing with your loved ones that you can just continue. You know, it may not be as extravagant as what you're seeing on Facebook or Instagram. You know, oh my God, we're going to fucking Cabo, or oh my God, we're on a trip. Like, okay, let's post the rest of the shit that you guys do. Like, what are the things that you guys do together that they're not going to forget? Like that they're going to be like, man, that's what we used to do with my mom. That's what we used to do with my dad. You know what I mean? And dads, I mean, sells a little short on us because, you know, the kids are always going to pick the moms over us, but we got to really give it in there and double down to really get their attention. But, you know, don't forget those things, even with your spouse or even you have no kids, man. Just don't forget those things that make you happy consistently. Appreciate you guys just popping in. Don't forget to follow, put a stamp on it podcast. Sorry, we haven't been here dropping too many episodes. We're going to get back on it. Life's just kind of hit certain things we got to do with the families. Business things came up. But I can't wait to get my partner back in, man. We got tons of stuff to talk about. We're talking about almost 3 weeks to a month full of content that we got to drop on you guys. I'm hoping you're feeling the hat. Little story about the hat, though. Bought this from Urban Outfitters. Put it on. Tighten the back. Back rips. Whack, gone. Now I got to figure out how to fix it. So fucking thank God I watched Slobby's World and figured out how to fix the back of a baseball cap. So I fixed it. So we had to bring it back in the game. Boom. Peep it. If you're a 90s kid, I hope you guys remember this. I love that art. So anyways, keep it classy. Keep it fresh. Hope you enjoyed. I try to drop as whatever I could. I don't want to take it too serious, but I definitely want to entertain and make sure I got you guys. Like I said, hit me up, slide in, DM, let me know what's up. You guys got anything to talk about? Just want to just holler, man. You guys ever want to go, we can't grab a drink after 90 days, maybe you get a coffee, just anything. Just holler at your boy, man. I'm here for you. And I always want to just share and just learn and help anybody get over anything they possibly can. Thanks for watching on YouTube. And we are going to end just the podcast, but we'll go ahead and keep the IG going if you got anything you want to talk about. Boom, out. Oh, don't forget, follow, put a stamp on a podcast. Catch you later. Okay.